Greetings and salutations, Dota fans! It is I, Badger, back for some more Legal Ads Season 11 action. Surprise, surprise, it's me again. So it's... You know what time it is. It's time for some great old amateur North American Dota 2, and we have two different teams tonight. On the dire side, a team full of long-time North American amateur veterans, including two former professional players, one in Dota, one in League of Legends, Sauce's Kittens, featuring, long-time and amateur players, Tint, Sauce, and Smack, but also featuring former League of Legends pro Andy Bendy, and former Division 2 DPC player Salacious Sea Lion 62, who is now retired, but I digress. On the Radiant side, it is mostly newcomers to amateur Dota 2. At the very least, newcomers to LANs, though it is featuring, I think that at this point, 4-season LANs veteran, Hobbs. He is the captain of this team, and he's brought in a bunch of guys in terms of just bringing in guys internationally, as best of my knowledge, guys from like South America. It's like, all right, I'm bringing in some talent. I want to win. I want to compete, and if I got to bring in some fresh blood to the league, that's what I'm gonna do. And so far it has gone, decently enough well. This is a team that's currently sitting in the middle of the pack. They are sitting at a 4-6 record, I think. Correction, you're sitting at a 3-5 record. I want to put that on the screen right now. Let's put on my Bouche. 3-5. Just 3-5 right now. They have recently changed their players, though. They removed a player and they added Kubrick, longtime Hobbs associate Kubrick, to the roster. So you know what? I want to bring in a guy who might be lower skill, but is a better team vibes guy, a better communicating guy in this Kubrick gamer, and Kubrick is back, baby. So should be fun to see the Hobbs Kubrick lane return of multiple lad seasons in the past. But yeah, one thing that has been pretty surprising though is Sauce's Kittens have had a somewhat rough season record wise. They are currently sitting over at 2-6, which surprised me somewhat, considering some big names on this team, and there were certainly some preseason expectations. I had this team, I believe, in my top 5, if not top 5, but like 6th or 7th. So in that top third of teams. So we'll have to see if they can. They didn't mark the wins properly. No, Hobbs. Why? This is why I make the lobbies. If you're wondering, I did not make the lobby tonight. Hobbs had it up before I can get it hosted, and then I insisted, I messaged him, I told him, please, for the love of God, mark the wins properly. And I told him to mark the series instead of 3 and mark the wins, and he has failed to mark the wins properly, so I'm already moderately angry right now, but it's gonna be okay. I'm sure the Dota itself will improve my mood at some point on this fine evening. These fucking people. Okay, I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna move this down a little bit. Oh, that's production value right there. I have moved things. I think I'm finally not sick, but I'm still sniffling my nose. So I guess I'm still a little bit sick, but we're getting better. One day at a time. I do want to get in as much casting as I can, though, before BTS Pro Series starts again, because once Pro Series starts, I'm going to be busy every single night for about a month straight, so I need to get my casting in now while I can. There's actually a draft on your screen, by the way. I have not acknowledged it. It's been on your screen for about 5 minutes, and I have yet to talk about it, so let's talk about it right now. Opening bands, nothing too shocking there. Leshrac, Primal Beast, Marcy, Pangolier, all very good heroes. 5-pick Tusk, a hero that both Sauce and Smack like to play. A hero that can also flex to the core roles, given this team's proficiencies with their heroes. 6-7 Undying Avenge. Fairly active support duo right there, into an 8-pick DP, which is a hero that Sauce values fairly highly given he first phased it. Second phase bans Ursa, Templar, Assassin, Morphling, Broodmother, Batrider, Drow Ranger again. All fairly contested core heroes in the current patch. What is interesting though is this 15-pick Sniper. I'm not opposed to the Sniper pick. I'm really not. Sniper's a very good hero right now, but picking at 15, it reminds me of Team Aster, who were picking at first phase and just were losing with it. Even though the hero was good, it wasn't good enough to justify picking into that many counter picks. There already is a Tusk, which is a soft counter, if not even a hard counter to Sniper, and Sauce has the chance to pick 3 more Sniper counters, including 2 cores. So, surprise, surprise, that is definitely a Sniper counter. If it ends up being Sniper mid versus Storm mid, which I suspect it will not be, I suspect it'll be a Storm mid but a Sniper carry, then that will indicate that that Storm will have a very good time. Though, traditionally Sniper often lanes well into Storm until Storm has 6. Once Storm has 6, it gets a lot better for Storm in that Storm Sniper matchup, because obviously Storm is a Storm Spirit who can get on the Sniper later in the game, but for now, I'm interested in seeing if they end up putting it mid. I mean, Hobbs is willing to go for some weird drafts sometimes, so perhaps he will put the Sniper mid and go for a different carry, which is definitely on the greedier end if he does that. And that is one more Sniper counter. Not quite as hard of a counter as a hero like Storm is, but, you know, Monkey King, one of the more maneuverable carries in the game. A hero who can get a lot of armor with that Wukong's command, and if Monkey King gets ahead of Sniper, then it's a great game to start running that hero down. If Sniper actually is able to stay, you know, in terms of even parity itemized at Monkey King, the Sniper can do a lot in that matchup. He can get a Hurricane Pike, he can get an Aghanim's Shard for concussive grenade, and obviously he'll need, you know, normal Sniper abs on top of that just to do impact, but the instant counter pick is that Beastmaster, a hero that Hobbs values very highly, a hero that's very good in the current patch, and a hero who matches up well into the Monkey King. Just you get the vision with the Hawk, and you get the ability to kill the trees with the axes. The lane itself is not ideal, given it is a melee hero into Monkey King, but as far as melees go, it's not a bad lane because you have those boars in the matchup, assuming Hobbs will get some points in boars, which is probably the case. I would expect something like 2 points axes, max Call of the Wild for the max boar. If I had to guess right now, the skill build will be on Beastmaster, but I'm not an expert on Beastmaster's skill builds, and Hobbs is, so I will trust his judgment when he selects skills this game. We are headed on into that last phase of bans now. We are down, that's the correction, we're out of bans. Crystal Maiden, Lifestealer, Puck, Pudge, the last 4 bans of the game. We are now on that penultimate pick, the 23 pick for Sauce's Kittens, and it's a snap pick Phantom Lancer. Okay, thought it would be a Monkey King carry, and I stand corrected. They're going to put the PL carry instead, moving Monkey King to likely a support role, which will make him most likely PL carry, Storm mid, DP offlane, Tusk Monkey support, which is certainly certainly an interesting lineup. I wouldn't call it a meta lineup per se, but it has a lot of potential to be powerful if they can have a decent laning phase. It's certainly a greedy lineup. These are 2 supports who definitely want some degree of levels and farm. And it's not the cores are not necessarily that selfless either, so you're gonna need a lot of gold and XP generated on the map for Sauce's Kittens, but if they can get there, there's a lot of potential. The instant response pick, though, is that Ember Spirit for Sui, the red spirit, and I'm actually going to look up the stats on Sui's Ember. I believe he has played it before in this lad's season. I am looking that one up right up now, because it seems like a convenient thing to research. So, oh, there we go. Lads Season 11. Let's head on over to Bouche, if we can find them on the Teams tab. There we are. If we go into their picks and bans so far, they actually have no games on Ember, which surprises me. I feel like I've seen them play Ember this season, but maybe I'm mixing them up with another team. It has been banned twice against them, however, so at least is on the mind of these drafters who are drafting into this team. It's like, hey, this guy is capable of playing Ember. It has been banned twice against them, so that is something, but I digress. It is still a good Ember pick. Obviously, quite good into the Phanomancer, but there's not the greatest anti-Ember lockdown this game. Storm is your best bet if he can get ahead, but in general, you see a lot of these Storms not itemizing into an early Orchid anymore, which is often the item that traditionally you would pick. You consume the Mango on Tusk, but usually the item you would traditionally go on Storm in that anti-Ember matchup if you wanted to counter out the Ember specifically, but in general, players tend to trend towards more reliable farming and fighting builds over specifically countering out that Storm nowadays. Good shards there from Sauce. Swee's on the run. He's half HP and he will get away. Again, a lot of damage being done to the Ember. Even a high 5 just for the fun of it, but that's a lot of damage right there. He'll have to use, I think, one Tango if he wants to be full HP, or have to walk all the way to the fountain. It seems like he's walking all the way to the fountain. The ward is dewarded, by the way. They saw him get all the way out early on. There's only one thing he could be doing there, and that's putting a ward either, here, usually here. And the D ward was here, which covers a lot of ground, including the D ward right there. But if you are just joining us, welcome to game number 1 of Sauce's Kittens, taking on Bouche. If you're whoops, I need to be on the screen still. If you're wondering, this is game 1. You did not miss a game. They just marked the wins incorrectly because they insisted on hosting the lobby ahead of me, but I digress. My name is Badger, and hopefully we should be in for a good matchup between Sauce's Kittens and Bouche. And already it's Smack Tricks. Playing aggressively with the Jingu skill, has an Orb of Venom, and Sauce is there as well, but they still cannot kill Blackfrath. He isn't untying with 7 mangoes, so despite their best efforts, it's hard to bring down the Undying, even with the good Ice Shards and a lot of Monkey King damage, so he does not even care. He's completely brushing off that damage he took earlier. Ooh, so we're going to see Hobbs go for a very early Helm of the Iron Will, and it should actually pay off. I mean, it should be fine. It means he has very little in terms of stats right now, but he will have a high degree of regen once he finishes that item. Mid lane, it is Ember taken on Storm. As far as I know, it is still a skill matchup. I know a few patches ago it was considered heavily a skill-based matchup. In general, Ember is the more highly valued of the two heroes, but I'm sure it's still a lane that either of the two mid laners can win, and so far is going slightly the way of Andy Bendy. If you're wondering, I will be calling Dire's mid laner Hannah Andy Bendy all night, because his name is Andy Bendy. I am happy though that Kubrick changed his name. In seasons past, Kubrick's name used to be KBRK, which is an abbreviation for Kubrick. I called him Kubrick for, well, obvious reasons. It's easier to cast that, but bottom lane, first blood will go to Yes Sir on the Sniper, bringing down Smack Tricks. The Vision came in with that Tombstone. The zombie allowed Sniper to hit the Monkey King, but back to nomenclature. Used to be KBRK. Figured out it stood for Kubrick, started calling him Kubrick, and I'm happy he's changed his name to Kubrick. It's now where everyone's on the same page of this guy is called Kubrick, and everyone knows that. Oh, that's a courier snipe! On Fan, switch courier. What's on the courier? Oh, that's a lot of... Okay, that's not that much stuff, but it's still a decent amount of stuff. That's the Wraith Band for Jim. Oh, speaking of names, I will be alternating between 3 different names for Salacious Sea Lion 62. There's actually the actual listed name is DPC name Salacious Sea Lion 62, but I will also be calling him Rook which is his previous display name, and I may be calling him Jim, which is his actual name, so I apologize if I use 3 different names for one player. But they are all his names, so yeah. Any other names I should probably mention? Nah, I think the rest is good. The rest is... I was watching mid for a long time. Ember was very low on HP, but seemed like he overstepped and was punished by Andy Bendy. Good, it's a very good solo kill there in that 1v1 lane. You don't see it very often nowadays, kills in these 1v1 lanes, but it's fantastic play there. Over to bottom lane, the Tombstone has died. The fight continues. Yes, sir is incredibly low, but it's Blackfrath manning up on the Undying. Tint and Yes, sir, both of the cores in this lane are incredibly low, but it's instead top lane where the death may happen. Okay, actually nobody's dead there. Thought for a second there'd be a kill top lane instead, but simply a 2-on-2 brawl. A lot of HP being taken out. A turn over to Applesauce. Sauce in the Tusk dropping low. Hobbs will get the kill via the board damage, I believe. Slash the Sea Lion 62 will man up. Has Lance available, but cannot find the kill, so it is a second kill for Bouche. So far, these lanes, though, have been going, in general, the direction of Sauce's Kittens. If we're looking at the core CS, all cores on the Dire are out-CSing their Radiant side counterparts, which is always a fantastic start to the game. You're never upset when you see that, but it'll be interesting to see if they can keep that if they can keep that lead going later into the game. There is still, of course, plenty of Dota to be played. Thought for a second they might go on Sauce, but they opted not to. He went in there for the Ice Shards the last hit and got the last hit, but was not punished for it. So, good heads-up play there from Sauce, getting that extra last hit. Over to bottom lane. Sniper is under attack, but Blackfrath turns with the Tombstone. Smack tries to focus it down, but instead he dies, and the Tombstone gets denied by Blackfrath. So no Tombstone lasted. And it's nearly 2 kills. Sniper, yes sir, is incredibly low, but mission accomplished. He's alive, and the Tombstone was denied. It's a lot of gold saved there. We're seeing some brawling top lane, but no kills there. Bottom lane, however, Tint's going in for a crazy play. Has life into the Crypt Swarm, needs one more hit, and he will get that last hit on Yes Sir. Tint now turns to Blackfrath. A much harder kill to get, though Smack is there, allowing for the second Crypt Swarm of the fight for a double kill for Tints. This is a good wraparound play there. Recognized Sniper was playing way too greedily, went through the fog in the trees, and had that wraparound kill right there into a double kill even. Meanwhile, mid lane, there's a fight over the runes, and Ember will secure it. He had a remnant at the southern rune, and he will now get it. Smack and Andy Bandy will go on in for the Ember, who has 2 remnants and an Invis rune, as well as 11 Magic Wand charges, so he's baiting. Blackfrath and Kubrick, Radiant supports, rotate in, turning. Over to Smack Tricks. Smack Tricks will fall. They turn to Andy Bendy, who's 1/2 mana. He'll ball over. Swee is low. Remnants towards Sauce. Sauce dives the tower, and he'll kill Swee. But will it cost 2 more dire deaths? Storm is already dead, and now Radiant turn to Sauce. Sauce will die as well. A double kill for the Undying. A 3-for-1 trade in favor of Bouche. They lost their middle laner, but it's mission well accomplished. They take down 2 supports and a mid for their mid. And now we get a nice little break in the action for a little bit longer. A little bit of a break. It's a slight break in the action. Both of the mid laners are 6, and again, you see Storm balling in mid lane. Swee has 2 remnants. He'll use 1, but he's inside the Ice Shards. He'll now use 1 more remnants. Perhaps. Perhaps not. He used the remnant, though did not activate it. The man fight continues mid lane. Andy Bendy. He's about 1/3 HP, and he's manning up against Swee's Ember Spirit. Swee went for the chains, could not find it, but instead is a dive bottom lane by Tint to bring down Yes Sir. He will lose his life, but he brought down the Sniper and got the XP for that kill before he died, so I'm going to call that a win for Tints. If nothing else, it is morale damage. Bringing down the enemy carry is always a great time if you are the offlaner. Over the top lane, we see Jim and Sauce going on Kubrick. Kubrick will turn the stun on Tusk, but he's still dropped into that tag team plus PL combination. Simply too much damage. And just like that now, Sauce's Kittens have a 6th kill of the game. It's currently a 1-kill lead, a 7-6 kill lead for Bouche, though we may see an 8th kill as Ember has a haste rune, though Dire saw him remnant over. They saw him on this observer ward, so they know Ember is headed towards the bottom lane. As a result, we now see Smack and Tint backing off. They will dodge the gank, and they will survive, I'm assuming. It is a good assumption to make. Over to Hobbs, he is doing Beastmaster things. Currently has a Helm Denominator, and I'm sure he'll go into that. Yeah, he's going into the full Helm of the Overlord next. And often, as you see, no boots. No boots on Beastmaster. It's just Ring of Protection, Ring of Basilius, all the stuff you need to build into a into Helm of the Overlord. No boots required. Speaking of course, we have rotated mid. PL is there, but he has tanked a Searing Chains from Sui, though he's fine. He's safe under his T1 tower for the time being. However, Hobbs, with his menagerie, is beginning a siege in the mid T1 tower. It's currently a 3v2. Andy Bandy will ball in for Hobbs. Hobbs remains tanky. Blastback rotated in with the roar into the tombstone. That's way too much damage for Andy Bandy to survive. So Storm is in to swap in Jim. Jim has a doppel. And the 2-man Boundless Strike from Snacktrix will allow Jim to get away a little bit, but Sui's still going on in. PL is low, about 1/4 HP. Sui goes in with the Remnants. PL remains alive, and Snacktrix is now warding the Ember away. However, wait a minute. Sleight of Fist. Ooh, if he got the chains! I think it still would have been slightly short, but good attempt there by Sui. Regardless, he bought time for his team to grab the mid T1 tower. However, it was an exchange for his own bottom T1 tower, so there's a 1-for-1 tower trade. Tint was bottom. He used the Exo on the DP to secure the T1 bottom, so we are now looking to the top lane where a siege unit will be coming over. Radiant, of course, want this T1 tower top now, and Sauce is the only defender. Kubrick will swap in the Tusk, and Tusk gets annihilated immediately. And as a result, it is time for the tower to die. It's still here, but it's not here for long. So I thought Hobbs might go for some points in Axis as he has anti-PL tech, but opted not to. Went for 2 points in the Inner Beast instead, which makes sense. It is generally what you do on the Beastmaster, so I'm not too shocked there about that one. Wait a minute, Andy Bendy. He's in a little bit of danger right now. He'll ball away. He's low on mana, though. He's not out of HP, so he will survive. However, Bouche will continue the up-tempo aggression. They look mid lane towards Tint. Tint's is actually fairly low on durability. It only has a Phase Boots and Falcon Blade. Smack will use the Wukong's command to turn on in. Hobbs will right-click him down. Sui will secure the kill with that Sleight of Fist plus Flame Guard. So Smack allowed Tint to escape. You will call that a tactical sacrifice. Importantly, Tint got away there, and Tint will have the Exo again quite soon. Plus the full 4 siphons in 25 seconds, which will be what he needs for a strong team fight on this DP. For the time being, though, we are back to a bit of a push top lane. Sui, this is the entirety of the team here. Sui and Yes Sir have joined the 3-man gank squad. They're full 5-man sieging the top tower. Sauce's Kittens have a Glyph of Fortification, and they will use it. And the push is instantly dead. Though Tint is now sitting on the high grounds, Tombstone was used for the vision to zone away Tint and Andy Bendy. And it seems like Dire are not that interested in fighting for good reasons. The split game certainly benefits them if they can get some space for the PL and the Storm to farm. The Tombstone expires in 5 seconds. And the tower remains healthy. Snowball into Primal Spring, into Tag Team Punch up in the air, and Blackfrath is trying to man fight, but he's still tanking that T2 tower. Meanwhile, Andy Bendy will ball on in for Yes Sir. Yes Sir dies, so does Blackfrath, and then Kubrick. Kubrick dies as well. A double kill for Tint. So it's 3 kills there for Sauce's Kittens. Hobbs will use the roar just to run away, but Andy Bandy is pursuing. He has the slopes, allowing time for his team to arrive. Primal Spring, Snowball, punch up again by Sauce, securing the 4th kill for Sauce's Kittens. They'll even kill that Helm of the Dominator, Warpine Raider. So it's 4 kills and an extra creep kill on top for a little bit of extra gold there. That's a dominant team fight win for Sauce's Kittens. And the game was looking fairly good for Bouche before that team fight. But with that team fight, the tides have turned. It's still a 1k net worth lead for Bouche, but momentum is disastrous. Bottom lane, wait a minute, that's a solo kill for Sui! He brought down the DPC gamer Salacious Sea Lion 62. Happy Seal's very own support and captain, brought down by Ember Spirits. Unfortunate there, and he was farming it on up, enjoying the peace and tranquility with his Midas, but Ember showed no mercy to Jim tonight. And that is why they grabbed the Ember. Ember, very powerful into that Phantom Lancer hero, that is for damn sure. Over to bottom lane, Andy Bandy is in a moderate degree of danger. Radiant are running at him with 4 heroes, though he's still a Storm Spirit, and he will ball away in time from the Searing Chains. Radiant, they want him. They really want to kill him, but it's not going to happen. Oh, the split game will continue. Dire will split and farm, but in that time, Radiant will group up and take towers. That is the last T1 tower on the Dire side, taking that bottom T1 tower. Meanwhile, Radiant smoke, but Dire are occupying the Radiant side of Tri-Camp. They see it with this ward, they know Andy Bandy's here. But the question is, can they kill him? Kubrick is smoked with Sui. The smoke has broken. Andy Bandy will dodge the magic missile stun, and he'll use his mana to ball on away, taking no risks there with this Ember Venge gank. Likely a wise decision, I might add. But now, after Radiant's failed gank, it's Dire with a 3-man gank of their own. Tusk and Storm are headed bottom. They've run into Hobbs. Their smoke has broken. Snowball will be the opening stun into the electric vortex. Hobbs cannot survive. Had Roar if he wanted to use it, but it would have been to no effect. So it is a free kill on Beastmaster. However, thought for a second it might be a second kill on Sui, but Sui had a defensive remnant middle lane. Remnanted away nice and easily from the Monkey plus DP 2-man combo. And we may see one more tower siege. It's been mostly Bouche doing the tower sieging, but Tint is playing Death Prophet. He does have Exorcism. He's ready to exercise that middle T1 tower. It's somewhat healthy, though only somewhat. There is a siege unit hitting it, but Dire do not want to commit. They still want to continue their split farming. They know that farming is important in this game for their carry player Jim. Mr. Rook, Salacious Sea Lion 62. He's farming it up bottom lane. But a problem is his brother Andy Bendy is not farming very much on that Storm Spirit. He is currently 6th in net worth. Only 5.5k net worth at minute 16, not an ideal number. And he will look to recover as the game goes on, but it may prove difficult. There's not that much space, and I mentioned it during the draft. This Sauce's Kittens draft is fairly greedy. A lot of these heroes, including both supports, want some items, they want some space, so the space is limited right now. The split game continues, but as the split game continues, Radiant continue their grouping up game. It is a conflict of styles. They've gotten towers in the past, and they'll get Roshan now. The first Roshan of the game, the first Roshan of the series. Immortality headed to Yes Sir's Sniper. And some key items are being purchased. The big ones I'll point out is Hobbs is very close to that Helm of the Overlord. He's 700 gold away. That's a very big pickup. Yes, sir, on the Sniper has finished his Maelstrom. That's the name of the game for these Radiant cores. It's Maelstrom Gaming. Ember's a Maelstrom, Sniper's a Maelstrom. That's their anti-PL tech right there, surely. Looking at the Dire heroes. Tusk, of course, wants a Blink Dagger, but that's going to be a long time. Tusk is not getting much farm. Ball in by Andy Bendy, but Swee has the reaction time to get away with that Activate Fire Remnants. So the Wraith Pact buyer on the Dire this game is going to be Smacktrix. He's going for it on the Monkey King. He's actually not that far away. He's been taking a lot of farm on that support Monkey King, and it appears to be to good effect. If he has the Wraith Pact for the next major fight, that could be what they need to turn it around. It certainly will be online for that second Roshan fight when that breaks out in about 8 minutes from now. But speaking of Wraith Packs, currently Radiant are not buying one. Neither support has it in their quick buy, and neither does Hobbs, so Radiant may lack the Wraith Pact, and as we've seen nowadays, Wraith Pact is an item that wins you the Dota games. Smacktrix goes for one more wave, and this time he will get punished. Radiant Glyph, just in case. Just secure the kill on that Monkey King, and mid lane perhaps it will be a Tower of Siege. There are 3 Sauce's Kittens there, the Tusk, the DP, and the Storm Spirits. But with the TP reactions, the push is already dead. We do have a BKB on Tint, so Tint is ready to be strong when the time comes. You see Andy Bendy headed for a Kaya Sanj on that Storm Spirits. Very common first major item on Storm. We see a number of Witchblades nowadays, and surprisingly no Witchblade on Andy this game, but he is somewhat poor. Doesn't have the space to get that extra Witchblade in his build, I suppose. The big core, of course, is that Phantom Lancer. Has Midas, has Diffusal Blade, and he's headed on in to a Heart of Tarask. A lot of raw HP right there. And likely the correct item build. Hobbs looks towards Sauce. Sauce will tank the Magic Missile, and he actually will tie to the Assassinate of Sniper. The roar comes in on Tint as well. Tint will turn with Snipers, but he's already dead. And they change the Storm Spirit. Storm trying to go for an aggressive play to keep Tint alive, to allow him to turn with perhaps the BKB of the Siphons, but instead he tanks the Searing Chains and dies immediately. So what started off as a simple pick-off on Sauce turned into a 3-man disaster, and as a result, it's high ground time. Sniper has immortality, Beastmaster has all of his friends nearby, and it's even a Radiant side siege unit. However, Radiant do not have a glyph. As a result, the wave is somewhat dead. However, we see Sauce, who just respawns, dies again. He was swapped in by Kubrick. And a good setup play there by the Venge. The T3 mid is dead and the racks are under siege. Ball in by Andy Bendy. Vortex on, yes sir, but yes sir remains alive. He's still balling in. He will pop 1 life on the Sniper. Sauce balls in, stunning Kubrick. Silence on Ember. Yes sir has respawned into the fight. The Exo is doing a lot of damage. Sniper is trying to man fight. In comes Sweet, but it's already too late. The Sniper is dead and Ember will get a counter kill, but at this point, Ember is very low as well, and Tint is demolishing the back lines. Hobbs dies to ball in by Andy Bendy. Kubrick will stun on 2, but in comes Sweet. The chain's on 2. Tusk is dropping low. Tusk is dropping low. The Storm is dropping low. Everyone's dropping low. Everybody's dead. A 2-man decay kill for Blackfrath, and now we see Venge will die again in the fight. And overall there, a very good high ground defense by the side of Sauce's Kittens. It cost them a buyback on Sauce. It cost them a T3 tower. It cost them a lot of kills. But they killed every single core. Sniper died twice. Once with the Aegis, once without. The Ember died importantly there as well, so we're at the point of the game now where Phantom Lancer is going to be quite a large problem. He has a finished heart. He has a pile of gold on top of the heart. He is ready to play Dota 2. It could be go time for Mr. Happy Seals Salacious Sea Lion 62. That's for damn sure. Bouche have respawned, but The game state has irreparably changed. The game is never going to be as easy for Bouche on the Radiant as it was before that. That was their best chance to win the game cleanly. Get a big gain from their team fight win. A more conservative team would have played the macro game, grabbed the mid T2, set up at the tri-camp, perhaps pushed the bottom T2, but they went for the jugular. They wanted to go high ground, knowing that breaking racks this early could have been a major blow to the morale, as well as, of course, to the lane equilibrium. Top lane, Snack's TP will get cancelled. He will die to Sui and Kubrick, but these racks remain alive. Despite the best efforts of Bouche, the racks remain alive. The one good thing, though, for Bouche is they still maintain a net worth lead, they still maintain a draft that is currently online, and they have better map control for that second Roshan, but, oh yes sir, just got his BKB. I think Dire saw that in Radiant scan. They scan out the smoke gank, and they will dodge it for now. They're playing currently in this Dire jungle area, looking to, of course, drag in this top wave, drag in this mid wave, keep pressure on this base. Again, there's an exposed set of racks here. So if Dire leave it alone, it's a very easy siege with that Beastmaster. And for now, mid is being brought in. This mid T2 tower has been killed by Jim on a Phantom Lancer. And the wave is being brought in as well, thanks to the PL simply being there, smacking the creeps. And he's going high ground. He's saying, you know what? I need to force you back. You're coming back home. You need to TP in. And Sui and the Ember Spirit did TP in. But we can Remnant back. There is a Remnant setup right over there. So he can return if the action breaks out at the eastern side of Dire Jungle again. For looking at that second Roshan, it will be alive in anywhere from half a minute to 3.5 minutes. We are not that far away, of course, from the timing. Radiant do not want to wait for the second Roshan. They want to still, bring these waves in. They want to perhaps catch Sauce's Kittens sleeping. Maybe catch them not defending their base. And again, we see Yes Sir and this Ancient Thunderhide hitting the T3 tower. In comes one TP, that is the Snacktrix Monkey King. Andy Benny will ball on in, but he gets chased immediately! What a perfect chase from Sui! Wow! The Tombstone is going to die, and Andy Bendy is forced to... The Tombstone's still alive! Anybody buys that, he balls in now, balls out, Sniper will BKB, so it's a BKB down. In comes Sauce on backlines, looking for Kubrick. He'll stun temporarily, but now it's time for Bouche to leave. The buyback was forced out. TPs are away. Every TP is being used. And they all will be successful. A clean retreat for Bouche. Fantastic play right there. And as a result, they're now in a fantastic spot where they know they are in the winning position for this Roshan fight. They know Storm has no buyback, so there will be no buyback into ball-in shenanigans from Andy Bendy. And if Radiant want to commit their own buybacks, correction, they don't have buybacks. My tangent would have been wasted. Dire. They move on in to occupy the Radiant side tri-camp. They're setting on up. And for now, the waves are all being brought in. Kubrick looks for a swap. He wants to swap in Tint, but could not get in range to use it. PL will get stunned, but he's still about 3/4 HP. Bouche are running into Phantom Lancer-based problems. Despite their 2 Maelstroms, the PL is just incredibly farmed as it currently stands. He is a half item up on Sniper, a full item up on the Ember Spirit. The damage is a bit insufficient. Roshan. It's a relatively late Roshan respawn, actually. Roar comes in on Tint on the west side of the fight by the secret shop. Snowball will delay. the engagement. Snack Tricks will use his Wukong command, but he dies in the middle of it. Actually, he kept him alive for a little bit longer, so allowing Andy Benny to ball in on Yes Sir. Yes Sir will be looking to man fight. Sniper is incredibly low. Dyer trying to focus this man down. Sniper is still just going to get right-clicked down by Phantom Lancer, and now Ember, who's trying to sleight of fist around the fight, brings down one, but PL is running in. Ember's BKB is ended. His mana is being drained by Salacious Sea Lion. 62 Undying has Bob back. But Andy Bendy and Jim are incredibly strong. Sui is trapped in the shards. A perfect shards from Sauce. Sui is somehow still alive. The PL and Sauce will finish the kill. Sauce, no, he's not even dead yet. He's now dead, but Jim is still man fighting. He still has that heart. He'll dodge the stun from Kubrick. Chains come in from Sui, who brought back into the fight. The PL will go in looking for revenge, but he'll die. It costs 2 buybacks, 1 on Undying, 1 on Ember, but they bring down the raid boss Phantom Lancer. And just in time as well for Roshan to respawn. If they can parlay the PL kill into Roshan, that is absolutely massive. And they know it's alive. They have the Hawk in the pit, but they need to kill it. They know this game is beginning to get out of hand. The PL is, he almost didn't die there in that fight. They know that he's only getting stronger. He has the Manta. He's going for a Scotty. This man cannot get larger. You have to get a significant win soon. You need a major teamfight win. You need, ideally, Rax to die. And that is one way to do it. Immortality again for Yes Sir on the Sniper. Question is, where's the shard going to go? It's going to go to Undying. Everybody has a shard but Undying. And again, there's a lot of good shards here in the Radiance, but they'll mostly purchase their shards. Venge, Beastmaster, Sniper, Ember all have shards, so lucky day for Black Frat. He gets a free shard. Yay! Gets the reduced cooldown on Flesh Golem, as well as a zombie to spawn when attacking during the Flesh Golem, which is, it's not bad. It's certainly the worst shard on his team, but if his teammates all have a shard, then hey, it's a free shard, baby. It's a free Aghanim shard. Here we go again. Bouche have their eyes on the prize, namely the top set of racks and the mid set of racks are the targets they want. But getting them may prove easier said than done. We saw earlier, Storm excels in these high ground defense scenarios. He's been caught before in the long balls, but when he's not caught, it's real difficult to defend. Or real difficult to attack the defense, I should say. Incorrect words from yours truly, but you see it already. Look at Andy Bendy. He's playing all the way in the fountain. He knows his job. Long ball, TP, get out. Even had an arcane rune there. Radiant move towards Smack Tricks, but they cannot find him. This T3 tower, it is quite injured. Andy Bendy balls in, does a ton of damage to Yes Sir. He's already down to half HP. He's healed by Soul Rip. The tower, it's still alive. Andy Bendy again has mana. He'll ball in. But he will not get the Sniper. Sniper gets the T3 tower and walks away with his 2 lives. There's 2 minutes 30 on the Aegis. Half duration remaining. Dyer begin to leave their base. They want to go move on out. But Bouche do not want to give them an opportunity to win a team fight. They want to bring in these waves. They want to bring in the mid wave, maybe even bring in the bottom wave. Problem is, if Dyer recognized how split the Radiant are, this could be a disaster. Ember has shown on the waves, but it seems like they don't know how split Bouche are. Hobbs blinks and roars on Salacious Sea Lion 62. They're focusing on the PL. PL still 3/4 HP. Wukong's coming in from Snackters. Anybody's balling in for Sniper. Sniper is still man fighting. Hobbs is brought down. The game is lagging. And yes, sir is trying to man fight, but he's just, no, he's swapped away by Kubrick. Tint with the Exo wants this kill, but he's being knocked back by the headshot Prox. Tint is dead, but the trade is for Sui, and now Salacious Sea Lion 62, the initial target of the fight, is still full HP. He heads on to Sniper. Sniper will TP away in his BKB. A narrow escape there for yes sir, but despite the escape of the Sniper, it's still a disastrous team fight loss. You lose 4 if you count the Aegis. Ember has no buyback. He used the buyback earlier. It's still on cooldown. As a result, the base, the Bouche base, is in severe danger right now. It's in the danger zone. All in by Andy Bendy. He knows the BKB of Sniper's on cooldown. Lotus comes in from Blackfrath. Yes, sir is trying to manfight again, but he cannot manfight. It is nay impossible. Dire head for one more kill. They bring down Blackfrath. That is a dieback on the Undying as well. A disastrous pick-off loss for the Radiants, and they need to have everyone alive to defend, but instead, the deaths have been staggered. 35 seconds is the window for Sauce's Kittens to go, and again, it's one more pickoff. Kubrick is trying to run, but Jim is punishing. He says, no, you are not allowed to defend, but instead to swap in on Hobbs. Hobbs is now caught inside the ice shards and brought down, and Kubrick, who swapped in his friend, his teammate Hobbs, he dies anyways. That's a full 5-man wipe in this game. It's looking real disastrous. Look at Jim. He's going for the jugular. He wants the throne. Missile does not bounce to the real PL. PL slows up the Ember Spirit with the Diffusal Blade, inhibit slow. But instead, he will head to the bottom racks. It's a 2-man stun, one on DP, one on MK, but PL is the problem. Radiant are hitting him, but there's just too many Phantom Lancers. Stun is dodged by Manta from Jim. Salacious Sea Lion 62 is now on the run. Sui goes in. He'll Remnant looking towards MK. MK is low, but Andy Bendy, he's on the back lines. Heading to Sniper. Sniper, the target again. His BKB is up, but Sui is already dead. He was left alone. His entire team was distracted by the power of Andy Bendy, and now, yes sir, we'll get swapped back, but Andy Bendy, he wants this kill, but no, he's healed by Soul Rip. Sauce is going to fall, but in comes Salacious Sea Lion 62, all the way to the fountain. He's knocked into the fountain by concussive grenade. He'll Manta, he's trying to run. He'll doppelganger, he's running to the north. Tusk has bought back. He wants to rejoin his team, Radiant. They see the retreat, they want the punish, but who can they go on? Tint has an Exo active, Dire still have 4 here, Missile is on the way, it will not bounce to any heroes. Dire, again, they're walking back in, the ball in for Sniper, BKB again is on cooldown, but Storm is low on mana, the dive bomb, it stuns him, Andy Bendy will die, but the trade is for yes sir, buys back Kubrick, will lose his Aghanim's illusion, Storm has bought back as well, the buildings, they're still under attack, the melees at long last will die, that's now 1.5 racks, Sauce's Kittens make that 2 racks, Tint boasts it down, but no, it's a disconnection. That may be our GG. Oh my. Okay. Convenient chance to catch my breath. The reconnection. The reconnection. We're back. No, the disconnection. Okay. These long strings can get quite stressful on the voice. LOL in the all chapped and smack tricks. We have resumed. Andy Bendy correction, Jim is diving against Hobbs. Hobbs is trying to run to his fountain, but no, he's brought down by Phantom Lancer. Salacious Sea Lion 62. He's out of control. PL is just too large. He is in charge, and he wants to end the game now. Andy Mandy balls in, finding, yes sir, who again has BKB once again. Speaking of BKBs, there's one from Ember as well. He's looking to launch Storm, but Storm balls away. PL, oh, he's going in so deep, but Radiant cannot punish Bouche. They are just too weak. They keep on staggering these deaths. They're not fighting as 5, and even if they were as 5, the PL is just too big. Blink Punch, they're on Sui. Little remnants, but not use it. Sauce will die at the edge of the Radiant Fountain, but the problem is the throne. It's exposed. Tier 4s are dead. PL's going in, hitting Sui is going to fall. The Wukongs has been used. The Dire are focusing the throne. It's half HP. PL goes in. He's currently disarmed, but he's hitting. Ball in, looking for Sniper. Sniper will big, but he cannot man fight. He's swapped into the fountain, but Jim is still going in for more. Oh no, it's a disaster at this point. The fountain dive continues. The ball in for Sniper. Sniper nearly dies in his fountain. The GG is called, and the throne is dead. And Sauce's Kittens we'll take game number 1. Oh, jeez. Heavy game. In Sauce's Kittens, it looked real bad for a real long time in that one, but it all worked out in the very end. All it took was one good high ground defense with the Storm Spirits to turn this game around. The momentum shifted backwards after that failed barracks siege. And PL, Phantom Lancer, the Salacious Sea Lion 62 carry selection became too big to fail. And now, I mean, if you're Bouche, you say, maybe we need to keep it a little bit more composed in the middle game. The lanes were not ideal either. I mean, they were acceptable, but they were not great. They were generally won by Sauce's Kittens, so in a situation, you say you mix it up a little bit, you change that draft a bit, you change your mid-game decision-making a bit, and you bring it on back for that game number 2, but for now, I mean, Sauce's Kittens, they farmed it on up, and they did a lot of farming, and it worked out. Eventually, the biggest of the big cores, the PL, was just too powerful. I am going to cut us to a break, though. I will see you all back soon for Game 2 of Sauce's Kittens versus Bouche.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Crystal Maiden.
Greetings and salutations, Dota fans, and welcome on back to some more League of Legends Season 11 action. We are here again for Game 2 of Sauce's Kittens taking on Bouche, and yes, the wins were marked incorrectly again. You love to see it, and by love to see it, I mean you hate to see it, because now I'm seething eternally. Eternally! However, we do have some Dota 2 on our hands. It is game number 2. Game 1, if you missed it, was fairly good for Bouche in the early into the mid game, but with one errant high ground siege into a string of lost fights, Sauce's Kittens became too big to fail on top of a very farmed Salacious Sea Lion 62 Phantom Lancer. But it is a new game. It's a new game, everyone. Game 2. Bans again. Nothing too shocking. Leshrac, Primal Beast, Marcy, the Broodmother. 5-pick Crystal Maiden. 6-7 Tiny DP. 8 Beastmaster. We saw game 1, it's again time for some more Beastmaster for Hobbs. Says, you know what, I had one game on the Beastmaster, but I'm not done yet. I want one more game on the Beastmaster, so we are in for a double dosage of the Beastmaster. More Hawks, double the Boars, double the Primal Roars. It's the name of the game here for Hobbs on that Beastmaster. One of his best heroes, surely, so. Second phase bans, nothing too shocking there. One thing that is notable, though, is last game, second pick went to Bouche. This game, second pick goes to Sauce's Kittens, so. They're the ones who will have the 24 pick. They're the ones who will have the 18 pick this time around, so. We'll see what happens there. Both these teams are now tied at 3 and 6. Sauce's Kittens came into the series one game back, but with that game 1 win, they are now tied at 3 and 6. If you are looking at, making the playoffs, these are teams that could be on the bubble, could be on the outside looking in if they lose some more games, so it is time to get these key wins. It is a crowded group right now at the bottom. of Group MX Guire, the MX Gamblers. Bouche sit at 3 wins. The Dinks, the DOS captain team, sits at 3 wins. Sauceless Kittens now sit at 3 wins. Funny Zone sit at 2 wins. And the whatever the hell Beast is calling his team now, they sit at 2 wins as well. So very competitive bottom of the Group MX Gamblers. So at this point, every win counts for sure. I mean, either of these teams could make top 4 heading into winners, or alternatively, either of these teams could easily end up outside of playoffs looking in. So there's no time like the present to win Dota 2 games.
Radiant team pick.
15 pick for Sauceless Kittens. It is the Dazzle. 16 pick is the Earth Shaker, so it will be an Earth Shaker Crystal Maiden support duo, moving the CM to 5, putting the Shaker 4, barring no potential crazy role swaps. In the past, we have rarely seen a Shaker played in the mid lane. It probably will not happen tonight, but it's not unheard of, so always could happen. Always could happen. A lot of time being considered. It's probably a carry pick coming here. They know the lane is likely DP tiny, so you might as well grab your carry.
Dire team pick.
And they don't. They grab a mid instead. They grab the Lina, saying, you know what? It could be a DP mid. If it's DP mid, we're fine running that Lina, and we are fine having our Lina be counter-picked. We want more information before we grab our carry for yes, sir.
5 seconds remaining.
Possibly a good philosophical drafting decision, perhaps the mistake. Which of the two it will be, though, is to be determined. Both teams have chewed into their reserve time. There is very little remaining. Less than a minute for Sauceless Kittens, less than a half minute for Bouche. And again, you have an option. Either you grab a side lane core and you solidify where your DP is going, or you keep the DP as a flex. So if it's not DP mid, I would expect it to be a mid pick here, knowing the lane.
Radiant team ban.
And yeah, that's your mid Kunkka. They know the matchup will be Lina, so say, you know what, Andy Bendy, what hero do you want to play into the Kunkka? And the answer will be, into the Lina, and the answer will be Kunkka, the admirable Admiral Kunkka. You know, very tanky hero, can survive a lot from Lina. Can survive that burst combination, of course, and with the rum buff is a lot more durable into these right clicks. And on the other end of the interactions, Kunkka can really do a number to Lina with the offensive X mark into torrent into boat combination. Naturally, Lina will buy a BKB anyways, and that will allow her to get out of the Kunkka combo, but BKB's cooldown keeps getting higher and higher, and Kunkka's cooldowns, they keep getting lower and lower, so you can't dodge them all.
10 seconds remaining.
Last phase of bans. Phantom Lancer, Huskar, Lifestealer +1, all carries getting removed from the game.
Radiant
This is Ursa as well. No Dota game for carries. And again, you know your lane. It is DP tiny, but you you don't know your other carry matchup yet. I actually don't know what I would want to play into tiny DP. It's not a fun lane at all. Probably would have been Lifestealer, but that hero is currently banned out. Maybe you just go Terrorblade and you just run from the lane, but this TB hero... Actually, TB does not seem that... Like, TB and Naga do not seem that good this game, so that's the problem. It'll be Drow Ranger instead, so yeah, it's not TB, it's not Naga. Neither of those Ilu carries into a lot of split damage. It's the Drow, but this is not a great Drow game either. I feel like this is gonna be a real... I mean, already into the Kunkka, it's not ideal. Into the Tiny, it's not ideal. Into the DP, she's gonna have a rough time in that lane.
5 seconds remaining.
And you throw in a counterpick. Slark is available. Spectre is available. You can still go a hero like Naga if you want to go a nice little split illusion game. But that's probably not where we're headed. I would expect a hero who gets on top of the Drow Ranger. And knowing what I know about Salacious Sea Lion 62, I think we are headed for a Slark. I really do. Ding, ding, ding. That's a Slark. That's a correct prediction. Although it was, you know, given the heroes that were banned, fairly obvious. The other heroes you might want were not available, so it's like, alright, let's grab Slark. Good into Drow, good into Lina, good into Shaker, good enough in terms of lane to Beastmaster. It's a hero that Salacious Sea Lion 62 excels at playing, so very logical selection. I think it's going to be a fantastic Slark game. I think this draft is going to be a win for Sausage Kittens. I think this is a draft to win, but even though it's a draft win, it doesn't necessarily
10 seconds remaining.
guarantee it will be a game win. And even then, it might not even be a draft
5
win.
seconds remaining.
It's possible what can you do? What lane am I interested in? I am probably interested in watching the bottom lane. This Drow Ranger Crystal Maiden into presumably DP Tiny lane. That'll probably end up being the most interesting lane. Mid will be, I mean, it's mid. Kunkka can make some crazy stuff happen potentially, but probably still is this mid. We saw actually a kill mid last game, so I'll have to be on my A game in terms of camera control for catching the action. And then the other side lane, the bottom, the top lane, I should say, the Beastmaster Shaker into Slark plus, oh god, who's there here in the lane? Dazzle. That lane could be interesting as well. Slark starts to get ahead, starts to really take over that lane. I forgot the last hero. Some interesting all chat coming out. Some interesting all chat coming out. Taking this chance to sip some water. I don't want anyone muted, do I? Okay, I don't. Nice, we're good. Oh yeah, if you are just joining us, welcome to game number 2 of Sausage Kittens taking on my Bouche. Sausage Kittens won game 1, and in a game that started off fairly poorly, but ended in dominant fashion. Naturally, they want to follow up their Game 1 win with a Game 2. A nice, happy 2-0 group stage win. But of course, Bouche, they want to turn it into a 1-1. Kubrick, oh no, poor Kubrick. That's a 3-man fissure, but the inevitable is certainly coming. Right? There's no way he lives here, right? Huh. Okay, he's actually going to die still. One more hit from Sauce. Not for a second, like, wait a minute. Is he actually walking away from this? But luckily Dazzle was there with the side swipe to bring down Kubrick. First blood goes to Sauce's Dazzle. And I was rudely interrupted during my intro. My name is Badger, welcome to Game 2, so... Already a good start for the team who won Game 1, naturally. The runes will go mostly to Sauce's Kittens as well. Will be 3 runes to the Dire, so... Always a great time to have runes. So it seems like they're starting all 3 heroes top lane. Okay, so he fissure blocked on Kubrick, and then he TP'd bottom. So instead of being Beastmaster Shaker, it'll be Beastmaster Crystal Maiden, making a Drow plus Shaker bottom. Man, landing into Dazzle is never a fun time. You just take a lot of damage. Poison Touch, very fun ability, but... What? What does that even mean? What? Russian HRD... 1 second. I was gonna say, maybe he's from Russia, but no, he's got 44 ping. He's currently not in Russia if he's from Russia, I can tell you that much. You do not get 44 ping from Europe. Usually from Russia you get 140 plus ping to US East. 160 is probably a more common number for ping from Russia to US East. And he's definitely not, he's on 44 ping, so he's definitely not. I don't know what Russian herd boss means, but that is living rent-free in my head right now. Genuinely rent-free in my head. For the top lane, we see Hobbs getting pounced by Salacious Sea Lion 62, but there is no kill yet. Poison Touch is there on Blackfrath. Sauce is smacking. He's cracking. He's shellacking. He wants to another kill. He's diving the tower. Oh no, Sauce! You have overstepped your boundaries. You have been punished with a frostbite into the tower shots. That's... I mean, I understand how it feels. Sometimes you're feeling yourself. You're like, you know what? I'm owning this lane. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna dive this tower. But no, that did not work. If you got the kill and died, that's one of those plays where you say, hell yeah, I'm so good at Dota. I respawn. I bring items for my carry. You just need a courier. I can deliver items, but instead it just didn't work. I appreciate the attempt, Sauce. It made things interesting, but what can you do? Mid lane so far has gone the way of Sui, though it's not a major lead quite yet. It's 17-5 versus Kunkka's 14-0. So again, certainly a win so far, but not a massive win by any means. First deny on the board for the Kunkka right then and there. Actually, he'll get a second deny. He had no denies all lane. The moment I start watching his lane, he gets 2 denies instantly. Maybe I'm good luck for Andy Bendy. But in the interest of game parity, I will look to the other lanes. We see Smack on Tiny. He's causing some slight issues right now. Disrupting some pole action. And again, he's just blocking the stack, he's blocking the pole, says, you know what, you are not having fun. with the small camp. You're going to be stuck where you are. Over to the top lane, pounced on in by Salacious Sea Lion 62. But he cannot bring down Black Frath. It's not quite enough damage. Instead, it's actually Slark taking a lot of damage. He has 10 stick charges, so he'll use them, but he's going to die here, perhaps. He's healed by Sauce. Radiant pursue. They want this kill. Pounces up in 2. And the slow from Sauce will be enough to keep Rook alive. Though his courier will be the casualty instead, so you save a Slark, but you lose your own courier. A worthy sacrifice. RIP courier. I feel bad for the courier sometimes. I really do. Bottom lane, dive by Tints. Well past that T1 tower, but there's no kill there. Kubrick is, he's pump faking the fissure over and over again, but for now it's, nothing too exciting. I do feel bad for the couriers, though. They often are the unfortunate casualties in these games. Like, you know, they're just trying to do their job, deliver items, and they just get shot. They get slapped. They get mercilessly assaulted. A tragic tale. The couriers are just trying to be, nice, happy couriers. You know, they're often, you know, nice, happy, anthropomorphic animals or whatever. They just get killed. What can you do? You see a bit of a dive by Andy Bandy mid lane, but Sui is still fine. He's about 1/3 HP. Even lower now, and it's a dive attempt. X-Mark into Torrent. One more Tidebringer will do it if Andy Bandy can find it, but he's run out of creeps to hit. Snack Tricks rotates in that last Tidebringer. There was one creep that I didn't even see, and that was the finished kill. Meanwhile, top lane, they see Salacious Sea Lion 62. They slow him with the boars. But there's no kill. No kill at all. He's damaged on Slark. But there's still no kill. Black Frath and Hobbs instead are being rotated on by Andy Bendy. X-Mark into Boat. Beastmaster is most certainly dead. However, Sui wants vengeance. Laguna Blade slaps down Salacious Sea Lion 62. And now Lina turns to Dazzle. The Lina is doing a lot of damage. Sauce is forced to Fairy Fire, and the torrent damage will bring down Black Frath. Sauce is juking around. He'll dodge out that Dragon Slave. And now Sui, he is the one who is in danger. He will LSA Andy Bendy. X-Mark is up again, however. X-Mark into Torrent. Dragon Slave misses Sauce. A huge sidestep from Sauce. Sauce, he's juking around the Dazzle. He's out of control. Tidebringer online brings down Sui. Andy Bendy. He's just too good at Dota 2. What a fantastic string from the mid lane dive to the top lane rotation to kill after kill. Created with Kunkka. Masterful performance by Andy Bendy. Okay. If looking over at Hero Net Worth, surprise, surprise, on top is Kunkka. Not far behind is his brother on Slark at 3,200. Drow Ranger, Beastmaster, DP, Lina, all not too far behind, however, so all cores are having an acceptable game. Some better than others, but all having an acceptable game. Nobody's too far behind. I am a bit concerned for Yes Sir, though. He's now landing into a DP with Exo, and we saw it last game. Tint is willing to play very up on this hero. He dove towers last game. It was a different carry. It was a sniper last game. But sniper is basically the less beautiful Drow Ranger anyways, so, you know, it's a similar concept where you just press your buttons on DP, you mash your face across the keyboard, and you just dive the tower, Siphon, Cryptswarm, Exo active, run down the Drow Ranger, and we may see it soon, though right now Kubrick is escorting the Drow Ranger, keeping her alive in this bottom lane, ensuring it's not a straight 1v1. There's still some lockdown available. However, this top lane where the fun is again commencing. Andy Bendy rotates in, but so does Sweet. It's a 3v3 in the top lane. Maguna. Dragon Slave brings down Dazzle. Roar. The counterplay is Boat, stunning only on one. In comes Kubrick with the fissure, stunning Andy Bendy. Andy Bendy for the first time this game will fall. Big money to Swee, but in comes his brother, finding vengeance on Swee. And now he turns to Shaker. Kubrick is dead. It's now a 2v2 top lane. Smacktrix is here as well. And he will now walk away with Radiant. They want to bring down Salacious Sea Lion 62, but he's a bit too tanky, a bit too powerful. If we are keeping track of permanent agility, he has 3. Count them 1, 2, and 3. Meanwhile, bottom lane, I called it happening. We see Tint again playing very aggressively. The EXO is flying on around. The tower is getting damaged. But yes, sir, remains mostly intact. TPM by Blackfrath. Tint goes in with the Siphon. Silence. The counterplay. DP is tanky, but not tanky enough. And he dies to yes, sir. That keeps the tower alive. Meanwhile, top lane, Smacktrix is invis. I think Radiant saw him there. I think Hobbs has an idea of what's going on. We see Smacktrix on Tiny. He's still shadowing Hobbs. Instead, the move is mid lane. The more viable kill on Swee. But Swee! Ooh, he read it out perfectly. Saw a lot of heroes missing. Knew something was up. Gets away. The invis is over, but the ganking is not. Smack. See Swee's Dragon Slave walks through the trees, avalanche toss, Lena's 1/3 HP, LSA is whiffed, Sauce and Smack are diving, as is Andy Bendy. It's a 3-man tie for Lena. Laguna is used, but in comes your boat. Lena now dies, but vengeance could be afoot. CM and Shaker are here. Smack and Sauce are both quite injured. Sauce is currently the primary target. He'll grave, but he will get rooted by the Frostbite. He used the Verdurous Dale buff from his Seeds of Serenity, but he dies to the fissure, so it's a 1-for-1, but if your Sauce's Kittens, a perfectly fine 1-for-1. You get a middle laner, you lose a Dazzle. A perfectly acceptable trade.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom
And that will be our first tower death of the game. Bottom lane, that is the Radiant bottom T1 dead, but we are likely to see a trade soon. The top T1 on the Dire side is also quite injured. So we are about to get El Clasico, the T1 for T1 tower trade. Before that, though, middle lane, Kubrick thought he might get gone upon by Andy Bendy, but either got juked out there, Andy Bendy decided to not go for the kill. Not quite sure which of the two it was, but we now return to our regularly scheduled T1 Tower Siege. Beastmaster and friends, both heroes and menagerie, are top lane, and that will be the death of this T1 tower. Problem is, the Dire also get one more tower. Sauce's Kittens get a second tower on the board. This is a mid T1, a much more important tower to take, so now it can flood on in, or run it down into this Radiant jungle, or run on into the Radiant Tri-Camp. You have a lot of plays you can make directionally now. This tower stopped a lot of those moves, both as a source of vision, but also as a source of a TP location. But now,
Radiant's bottom tower
it is deceased. It is dead. It cannot be here any longer. Not ideal. Despite that, though, it is time for action. Bouche do not want to sit around and do nothing. They smoke on 3. They see Smacktrix. Fissure. Into Drow Silence. Into the slows from the Beastmaster Boar. Roar is committed. And Tiny is eviscerated. Now they turn to Sauce, who also will die on the other side of the river. He'll grave himself, delaying the inevitable, but the inevitable has come. Both supports are dead. Problem is, there's still an Andy Bendy sitting mid, so you can't actually take this tower. He's just a wee bit too tanky. These Kunkka illusions are actually quite threatening. If I were Shaker, I'd be scared right now. I see his illusion. Even though I know it's an illusion, I'd still be scared. I love that ping from Yes Sir. He's like, you know what? This is my farm, Crystal Maiden. You cannot have it. You're going to hold my wave right here. Drag it on over. That's my gold. You are not allowed to have it. But does he stack the Ancients? Or at least does he clear it in time for it to be respawned? Oh no, what a disaster. Hard camp, no stack. Ancient stack, no stack. Oh, that's... tragic tale. What's Andy Bendy up to? He's tanking a primal roar. In comes the team. CM unleashes her salvo into the fissure from Kubrick. That's one kill already. Smacktrix is nearby, had an avalanche on Kubrick, but decided against committing further. So it's one good kill for Bouche, the one on Kunkka. And then the walk away, back to middle lane. There's still a tier 1 tower to take. It's half HP, but really not that durable in a game like this. Tint is defending, but Drow actually almost kills the DP. The DP is slow, the Radiant will dive. Tint is dead, but is there vengeance? There is a Slark. He's hitting Blackfrath's Crystal Maiden. Avalanche will hit on one, but CM remains alive. However, that might change. X-Mark Torrent Tidebringer is more than enough. The entire rest of Sauce's Kittens could not find the kill, but Andy Bendy says, you know what, guys? I'll get the kill for you. If you're keeping track, the mid T1 did die. So both teams are down both their safe lane T1 and their mid T1.
Radiant are scanning.
We are at parity in terms of the towers. In terms of significant items, however. Ooh, so this is interesting. From Sui. He is not going for the more tried and tested build of previous patches. You see a lot of these Lina players, they'll go, you know, BOT's BKB. Sui not opting for that. It's BOT's Aether Lens into Forstaff Shard into Aghanim's Scepter. That's a fascinating build. I'm curious to see if it pays off. I think it might be good, but I'm curious to see how it functions in these team fights. Mid lane, Fissure. Into Roar, Tint the target. Grave is available for Sauce, and he will Grave Tint. Tint, oh, he's siphoning up! That's a huge amount of heal! My, that's so much heal, actually! Drow's arrived, but in comes Smacktrix with the Blink Avalanche! Yes, sir is dead! They're still trying to kill Tint, and they will kill Tint, but what a costly kill! Sauce will die as well. It's currently a 3 for 2 in favor of... Wait, where did the Lina die? Okay, so simultaneously, Lina ran into what I'm assuming are internet issues. Disconnected top lane and perished. So simultaneous to the 3 for 2 fight win middle lane, there was a pick off top lane. And we may see one more kill middle lane. They want to kill Hobbs. You see, currently, Salacious Sea Lion 62. He is being tossed up in the air. If we look at the showcase view, he's currently... he's in the air. He is the highest Slark that has ever existed. He is vertically above the trees, practically. And he's ready to pounce on in to demolish Hobbs. And Hobbs knows what is coming. He's at this point, he's reading through the Kubler-Ross model of coming to terms with death. He's no longer in denial. He's no longer angry. He's no longer bargaining or depressed. He's accepted his death. Look, he's in the all chat saying, what is that? 26 essence shift goodbye. He's come to accept his death. And honestly, there's not much more he can do about it. I mean, there's a pound sign line for Slark. Slark has an Aghanim Scepter. This is just a dead Beastmaster. And when Beastmaster dies, by the way, that will be a full 5-mana wipe, a 5-for-2 across the map in favor of Sauce's Kittens. I can't get over to Slark, man. Look at this. Wait, where did Slark? Where did he go? There he is. Look at his face. Look at this dude's face. It's like you can tell. This is a man who was not prepared for the reality he's currently in. This is a man who comes from the subterranean underwater hellscape, the Dark Grief prison. He is, used to being 20,000 leagues under the sea, but instead he is... I am looking at your hero, Jim. I assure you, I am looking at your hero. I am currently... I agree. See, I'm actually ahead of you. If you look back and you watch this cast, you could tell I've been looking at your hero for like 45 seconds. I am actively ahead of you on this, Jim. Oh god, I cracked my... that's not good. I have bent my elbow the wrong way in real life. It is causing me moderate pain, but it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna stop using my elbow like that now. Ow. How did that happen? That's not supposed to happen. This man is just in the air still. Ay, ay, ay. We are waiting for Sui on Melina to reconnect to our Dota 2 game. But as it currently stands, he is not in the lobby. He's disconnected again. We're waiting for the internet situation to improve. And Jim is thinking what I'm thinking. Any updates? He's grumbling is what I'm being told. How do you not know what it's like? He's just angrily sitting there like, I'm grumbling. Look at me. I'm so angry about my internet. My ping is too high. I've got packet loss. That's grumbling, Hobbs. See, this is exactly. It's important to have Ethernet cable. I mean, it's very. I don't know why I pronounced it like that, but. And you got to be on those cable lines. We're back to the game though. Hobbs. He knows he's been dead for minutes, and the inevitable has arrived. That is a full 5-mana wipe in favor of Sauce's Kittens. Yeah. It is a 4K net worth lead for the side of Sauce's Kittens on the Dire. Win probability is 69%, and it's looking pretty good for them in their chances to get a 2-0 victory. Oh no, this is gonna be a disaster. Oh, the pounce was missed! A rare mistake by Salacious Sea Lion 62. However, the X mark brings Drow Ranger back into the Thunderdome, and that's unfortunate right over there. For yes, sir, his game is actually not that bad, money-wise, but you're playing into an incredibly farmed Slark on Drow Ranger, and that's a rough time there. We see Sauce bottom lane. Just getting away. Middle lane, we see Slark on Lina action. Fissure is the counterplay to stun the Slark, but Slark does not care. He'll just pounce away. He had 2 pounces thanks to the Aghanim Scepter, so 1 pounce in, 1 pounce away, and well, the team has arrived. Andy Benty's in the back lines, finding Blackfrath. X mark into boat, stuns on 2. Hobbs has been lifted on up by the toss, and Blackfrath will join him in the grave, and at that point it is 2 more kills for Snacktrix. A 2-man LSA will stop the bleeding for now. Kubrick wants to go in here, but that's not going to happen. At this point, we are 17 to 12 kills in favor of Sauce's Kittens. 5k net worth lead. And our first Roshan of the game is going to go the way of Sauce's Kittens, it appears. Circles are being drawn around the Roshan pit. It seems like Blackfrath wants to call for his team to smoke, but it's too late. It's already dead. Perhaps a fight will be forced here, but yeah, there's not even a smoke. No smokes available. Fissure hits on 3. But in comes Snacktrix. Blink, Avalanche on 2. Shaker and Drow both have been caught. Shaker is annihilated, and now they head to Hobbs. And Hobbs, again, in danger. 1 more death on the Beastmaster. Double kill for Salacious Sea Lion 62. Dota says he's unstoppable, and I agree. Actively unstoppable on that Slark. The net worth lead extends to 6,000, and yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it's going right now. It's not going well for my Bouche. X mark. Boat comes on in. Blackfrath. It's actually only half HP, so it's gonna be A-okay for Crystal Maiden. But in comes Snacktrix to finish the job. Avalanche and Toss are used. Blackfrath will use the freezing field into the fissure. Wait a minute! Snacktrix is dead, and Andy Benty's incredibly low. Dazzle and Kunkka are both dead. That's a 3-for-1 in favor of Ma Bouche. And just like that, there are signs of life. A lot of gold, heads on back. A lot of gold, the Blackfrath on Crystal Maid. Not the ideal target to get the gold, but just like that, that is... More importantly than the gold gained immediately with the fight bounties, it is map control gained. It is momentum gained. You see Hobbs right now on the Beastmaster. Think alright. Let's bring the units on over into this dire jungle. Maybe even put the eyes on this top T2 tower. And just like that, it's looking a lot better. It's still not looking good for Ma Bouche, but it's improving. Bottom lane, pounce on in by Salacious Sea Lion 62. Blackfrath is running around the trees, trying not to die, but it is a very fishy situation. Wait, the pounce is missed by Jim! And now he's in danger. He's silenced by Yes Sir. And Jim is just dead. He's dead once. He's currently in a 1v4. His team is on the way, but perhaps too slow. The chain stun is not enough to stop Shadow Dance. Pounced away by Slark. Slark gets away. So no casualties on either end, with the exception of the Aegis of Immortality for Slark. And well, that was the 2 things in favor of Sauce's Kittens. It was a massive net worth lead and an Aegis. They've lost part of one and all of the other, but despite losing both of those things, it is still a favorable game state. Slark remains sizable. Very sizable. I'm looking at Blink Dagger status right now. One important thing for these dire side team fights has been the tiny blink, but Radiant are getting blinks of their own. Beastmaster has one, Shaker is buying one. That'll help. Bottom tier 2 is dead. Outpost. Actually is not grabbed quite yet, but eventually it will get grabbed. Speaking of dead towers, it is our top tier 2 tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Radiant occupy the high grounds. Dire are smoked on 4.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And they're running on up. Here we go. Smokes have been popped. Jim pounces on in. Tint is Radiant's target, but he's graved by Sauce. And now the Siphons are healing. Tint is absolutely fine. Black Frath is dead, but will we see more Radiant side deaths? X-Mark is there on Drow Ranger. The boat will stun. Forced out is away, but yes, sir, still half HP, but the pounce gets Jim away from the fight. He did not want to overcommit. And Sauce's Kittens will accept their minor skirmish win. A 1-for-0 in their favor. Simply the Crystal Maiden falling. Middle lane. You see Lena has finished the Aghanim Scepter. It is a Flame Cloak, which is unobstructed movements, magic resistance, and spell amp this game. Which is an interesting decision to go for. I guess the idea is just unleash the arsenal of magic damage. There is the Aghanim Shard upgrade for extra damage of Fiery Soul, so effectively you're getting about 100 more damage on every spell for Lena. Which is nice. I mean, you're looking at nearly 500 damage on the LSA, about 400 damage on the Dragon Slave. You know, this is decent damage. A lot of wave clear there. Well, it is only when the Flame Cloak is active, and the duration's not that high. It's about a 25% uptime, a little bit below that. So we can use it, you know, to move around. Oh, in comes Jim. Found Black Frath temporarily, but could not finish that one. He's playing around, grabbing some temporary Essence Shift stacks and getting out of there. It is farm game time.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Wait a minute, TP has been cancelled, top lane, Sui. He's already half HP, he'll pop that Flame Cloak to path around the fissure. Jim is hunting, he has he has Pouncing for, but a Sui's in the trees, he'll be fine. Good old Lena getting away from this one. And we are back to our regularly scheduled agriculture. If you're a fan of farming, then you're in the right place, because it is currently farm time. We're going through, you know, the full farming cycle, going through the crop rotations, the 3 field rotations. We got 1 field where we're sowing stuff, another field where we're harvesting stuff, a 3rd field where we're just leaving empty to recuperate its soil. I think that's how you supposed to describe that. It's the great farming cycle, of course. But for now, we're chilling. I mean, there's some smokes available for both teams, but maybe Radiant will use one right now. Correction, their smoke is not with them. The smoke is farming a Blink Dagger bottom lane. So as a result, no smoke gank there. Instead, it's time for key items. Bottom lane, there are stuns on Smacktrix, but the follow-up was not there in time. Instead, it's Andy Bendy, who's invis and hasted, running on in. Laguna Blade's there on Smack, but Smack gets graved by Sauce. Instead, in comes your X-Mark. There on Lena. Lena has been stunned. Lena will get stunned to death. Brought down by the tossed tree from Tiny. There's a roar on Drow. Tint has been caught and the grave is not in range. So it is a 1-for-1 core trade, but Jim is out of control. Fissure, freezing full combos. Meanwhile, there in the back lines of the dire side, Smatrix is dead and Sauce is forced to grave himself. The Echo will finish the job. A double kill for Hobbs. Meanwhile, we see Slark could not finish the Drow Ranger. Drow TP'd away. However, Andy Bendy dies to Fissure, so it's Jim in the 1v3. Kubrick blinks in. Dive bomb from Hobbs. They're trying to focus down the Slark, but Slark is playing into two supports and an offlaner. However, he's running low on spells. The pounce is blocked. He has one more pounce, and he's forced to BKB, but he's out of spells now. He's crit down by Drow Ranger. And just like that, Sauce's Kittens, they have been wiped. Bouche. That's a 5.5 thousand net worth swing. What a massive fight win. Unluckily for Bouche, they're unable to grab Roshan. It's still not alive, but they're going mid anyways. This mid T2 is dead, and they see Smatrix. The roar, the right clicks, the silence. The Tiny is dead for 52 seconds. And much like game 1, they're pinging mid lane. It's mid lane time. Mid T3 is half HP. It gets glyphed. I was gonna say that's a really good blind fissure, but it's actually a sentry ward. So there was awareness of the of the Invis Kunkka. Roshan, at long last, is alive, but that's an incredibly late Roshan. That's close to 3 minutes. That's an incredibly late respawn. And this Hawk from Hobbs, we'll scout it out, but if Dire want to fight it, they can. They'll be alive on 5 in 5. And they're smoked on 4. They run in the Crystal Maiden, who has a Force Staff. Will force and dodge 1 pounce, but this is a real rough time for Crystal Maiden. He'll freezing field to do whatever he can before he dies, but a BKB Slark will bring down that one nice and easy. In comes your boat. It will hit on Yes Sir. Yes Sir is in danger. Has an imbiz with a silver edge. Slark looks to pursue. Is there detection for Drow? It appears to be no. Instead, there's a jump on Beastmaster on the south side of the fight. Smatrix blinks in to bring down Beastmaster. Back to the west side of the fight. Jim goes on Yes Sir. Yes Sir gets away, but Slark is still pursuing, and Yes Sir dies to a neutral creep. He died to a neutral creep. Oh no! Kubrick is now in danger as well. The gem is on the floor, reclaimed by Salacious Sea Lion 62. And it goes back to Sauce's Kittens. The last team fight was disastrous, but this one was miraculous. The gem is reclaimed. A lot of gold is reclaimed. Roshan will be taken. That is the Aegis. And the Aghanim Shard to be claimed. And they both are going to go to Slark. So it is that Depth Shroud for Slark and 2 lives. And now we begin to be concerned again for Bouche. They have shown they can team fight, but that last team fight win they had was in all honesty an outmaneuver and an outplay. And it's hard to get consistent outplays. Pounced in by Jim, finds the Lena, BKB comes in from Slark, Roar is the counter play, keeping Slark away from the fray. But Radiant had to commit a lot to simply not die. However, Slark did use his BKB, so it is somewhat of an exchange. Radiant leave their base as 5. Blink, Fissure on Slark. Or Slark will pounce away. Meanwhile, Radiant tried to go on Andy Bendy, but he was slightly too invisible and he got away. Alright then. You see a break on Slark, but he's still fine over there. I see a Drow Ranger, but can't find the right jump there. Radiant's smoke has ended. Kubrick shows his face. Pounce on in. Slark is low on HP, but again will pounce to dodge the LSA. Instead, Slark will die to Laguna Blades with 1 life lost, and meanwhile Sauce is there on the east side of the fight. Drow Rangers being focused down by Tint and Andy Benny, but he's 4 staffs away! Pounce on in, Echo Slam! They're on 2! Snacktrix has fallen! It's currently a 5v3! The cores are alive, X mark on Hobbs. Hobbs is brought back in and brought on down. Salacious Sea Lion 62. He's trying to salvage the fight again. He'll pounce in with a BKB, heading for Blackfrath. Blackfrath can 4 staff in 3. He tries the TP. That is futile. Instead, it's Yes Sir Die as well. Pounced up by Slark. A triple kill for Salacious Sea Lion 62. And he will Dark Pact all of the stuns. What a back and forth fight. Initially, it looked incredible for Bouche, but instead, oh, they'll go to my kill on Slark! He just died instantly! So now it's a 2v2, LSA on 2, sweetest man fighting, he brings out Andy Bendy, he heads to Tint, Tint's on the run, Shiva's Guard activated, he's trying to run, but Radiant pursue, the Courier gives the vision, Kubrick is hunting, the Enchant Totem into the fissure, Tint is still on the run, he's trying to siphon, but Sui is just too powerful! And just like that, again, the fight turns around! It started initially fantastic for Bouche, then turned fantastic for Sauce's Kittens. But that 2v3 high ground defense from Sui and Kubrick somehow, someway down Echo Slam, they defended 2v3! Dota 2! Defense of the Ancients 2. I just love this game. I truly do. Well, Sauce. Wait a minute. Yeah, Sauce is definitely dead. E-Blade, LSA, Dragon Slave, Fissure, the damage is definitely enough. The Enchant Totem finishing the job. And this is a really wild game. And we're not done yet. Thanks to that last fight, we're actually back to relative net worth parity. It's a 2k net worth lead in favor of Bouche, and look at the win probability. It's now 66% in favor of the Radiant, in favor of Bouche, and I'm sure Hobbs is sitting there saying, you know what? We were losing this game, and now we're winning this game. It's probably time to pump up your team like, hell yeah, we did it. Just keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Just keep up the pressure, you know. Make smart plays, make smart maneuvers, and wait, bottom lane. Okay. Sweet. Laguna Blade, Dragon Slave nearly burst down the Slark. Okay then. That's a lot of magical base damage. It truly... We saw the full power of the Flame Cloak. Initially, the Flame Cloak was used defensively for pathing to juke on away from the pounce. But then, wait a minute, I have increased magical spell amp. It's 30% spell amp. I'll just unleash the arsenal. So you know what? Throw on everything. Let's see what happens. And he nearly killed Slark. One good thing for Andy Bendy right now is Radiant have a certain lack of a Yule Scepter. That is usually one of the tools you'd want to have into the X-Mark Kunkka shenanigans, but there currently are no Yule Scepters. Traditionally, Lena would often buy one, but that is, at this point, multiple builds ago, multiple years ago, multiple patches ago. These other heroes don't really want Yules this game. Oh, wait a minute. I smell a dive attempt bottom lane. I smell a dive attempt. They want to go on Sui. However, okay, good Dark Pact. Purges off the Hex. I believe that was a Hex reveal from Sui. So let's just see Line 62. Will pounce away. There's a Roar, meanwhile, there on Sauce. So they isolate and kill the Dazzle in a split map situation. Hex, E-Blade, LSA, the damage, the chain stun, the kill, oh no! He's still alive! Instead it's Kubrick who's dead! And now Sui's brought in by the X-Mark, Shaker spies back, Lena is dead, Dire head for more, they want Black Frath. Black Frath will freezing field, but he cannot stand his ground. The freezing field is cancelled, and his life is ended. I'm not quite sure how Jim survived. But that was a very important survival. Snack Tricks will tree volley. Hobbs is about 3/4 HP. And now blinks away. But now, Lena, who nearly demolished the Slark, instead is dead without buyback. He bought out for the Hex. And he's okay. He has buyback and 5 gold. Okay. Everything's fine. He has the buyback, so there will be no high ground siege. Dire will likely poke their heads around Roshan. The third Roshan can be alive right now, and it's certainly not alive. About 2 minutes into the respawn window, Tint looks in there like, "Hey guys, where's Roshan?" Roshan's not here. Roshan not home. Roshan missed the bus. It's gonna be late. Pounce on in from Jim, finds Hobbs. The Abyssal will follow up. Hobbs is half HP. Still running away, but Jim is pursuing. Fissure from Kubrick blocks him away, but Pounce gets him over the fissure. Hobbs is forced away, and now Jim... Thought for a second he could be in danger, but Slark proves to be a little bit too maneuverable for now. And all eyes are on Roshan again. Beastmaster Hawks in the pit, Dire poking their heads in every so often. Again, we're a minute into that respawn window, but no Roshan as it currently stands. And there's a lot to be gained. The Aegis, the cheese, and either a Refresher Shard or a free Aghanim Scepter are the spoils. Radiant Smoke on 4, popped immediately, Fissure on 2, Hobbs looks towards Tint, but Jim looks towards Kubrick. Beastmaster gets demolished, and Dire head to Crystal Maiden, the pounce into the Poison Touch Hex. Boat hits on Drow Ranger. The huge Tiebreaker crit Echo Slam is only there on 1. There on Tiny. Fissure on 2. But Radiant are crumbling. Laguna Blade's there, but it can't kill the Grave from Sauce. So no kill. Instead, it's a Torrent on Lena. Lena has no big KP. He'll LSA on 3, but it's too late. 3 dead. That is Lena, Crystal Maiden, and Beastmaster all down. All 3 are without a buyback. In the high grounds, it is time for the high grounds to die. The top T2 just died, the top T3 gets glyphed, but the glyph was early, so there's still another wave. Drow is going to attempt to defend with the multi-shot. Gets away from that X mark for now, but the T3 is dead. Fissure again will stun on 2, delaying the siege. Problem is there's X mark on Kubrick, but there is no follow-up, so Melee's topper dead. Drow will attempt the solo kill Slark, but there's a Grave from Sauce. Avalanche on 2, toss in on Shaker, and then a lot of damage, and he's in a lot of death. It's a dieback on Shaker, and now DP is broken and slowed by Drow, but there is no kill. So as it currently stands, the base is still in danger. Jim is hunting top, going into the base. So it's actually a relatively moderate claiming of buildings. Only the melee racks top in a T3 tower. Thought it could be potentially even 2 racks, but it was not. Radiant smoke outside their base on 3. They know Roshan's alive. Roshan's already 2/3 HP. It could be time for the Hail Mary. Hobbs leads the way. Lena's alive. TP's in. Hobbs with a blink roar on Tiny. Roshan is 1/3 HP. Dire leave the pit. Pounced in by Jim. Looking towards Sui. Sui is duking for now. Hobbs is BK bead. Oh no, Abyssal on Lena. Forced away by Crystal Maiden with another pounce in by Jim. Jim is BK bead. Looking towards Lena. Lena's half HP. Jim pursues. Another bash. Another big kill on Lena. There's still no buyback. Yes, sir, jukes out all the projectiles. But the problem is again, no more Lena. Dire have two options. Return to Roshan or return to the Radiant High Ground. They will go for the smart decision. They will go for the Roshan. There's a lot of cool stuff in Roshan. It is the Refresher Shard, which likely will go to Tint. So Aegis and Cheese to Jim. The Shard to Tint. If I had to guess. Correction, the Cheese to Snacktrix. They did not want to pull a Thunder Awaken and leave it in the pit. Likely a good decision. And it happens sometimes in the chaos wondering who gets the cheese, but... Lena again just got buyback. Exo is popped by Tint. It is high ground siege time. The siege is fairly strong. Tiny, wait a minute, that's a selfless move. Gets DP away from the fissure, but made out of Drow. But oh, there's your Gray from Sauce into the cheese. Abyssal is there on Crystal Maiden. Fissure on 2. Slark and DP are stunned. Drow is hitting. Looking for DP, but DP is invis again. Now. HP on DP and Slark is fairly low, but the melee Rax is dead. So it's now Rax in 2 lanes for Sauce's Kittens. Andy Bendy goes in. Gets a Tidebringer on Black Frat, but there are no more kills. So range Rax are low in both of these lanes. But Sauce's Kittens say, you know what, we don't actually need the range Rax. We've accomplished what we want to accomplish. Melees in 2 lanes, therefore equilibrium in both the top and the middle lanes. We only have one place to be. And everybody knows it. It's the bottom lane. And it's that important last set of Rax. And if they get that melee Rax bottom, then it's effectively a formality for them to claim Megas. The wave is being brought in right now. Salacious Sea Lion 62 escorts the wave. Wants to ensure there are no shenanigans, no creep cutting, nothing stopping him from claiming the Megas, and the almost certain 2-0 victory. The Aegis has half duration remaining. Exo is online in 30 seconds. Perhaps that is what Sauce's Kittens will wait for. That extra high grounding tool of the DP Exo. Now at that point you have BKB Exo Wraith Pact into Refresher, BKB Exo Wraith Pact. You have a lot of options. It's up in 5. Hobbs sets up Hawks for Vision. Looking at Radiant Vision, they see a decent bit here with 2 different Hawks. Though the Eastern one's expired. In comes your Exo from Tint. Wraith Pack as well. But Drow Ranger damage. The Grave from Sauce. Tossed in on Yes Sir. He'll BKB on Drow. Roar on Tiny. The Grave has ended. Radiant. They will retreat for now. Drow will heal up in the fountain. The tower is about 2/3 HP, but remains standing. Exo is low on duration. Oh, pounce in. Abyssal on Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden is still alive. One more pounce is in, but Kubrick distracts from the backlines. Fissure, Laguna on Tint. Tint is dead. Radiant are alive on 5. It's currently a 5v4 defense. In comes your boat. It will stun. No, it will not stun on Drow. Instead, Lena, the Fissure as well. Look towards Tiny and Dazzle. Tiny is graved. His Blink Dagger is cancelled. And this time there is no way out for Tiny. 2 deaths on Sauce's Kittens. 1 on Tint, one on Snectrix. In my Bouche, they keep the game alive. The game state is still disastrous, but the bleeding has stopped. We are no longer hemorrhaging on the floor. Instead, we've gotten, I don't know, like a tourniquet or something. I'm not sure you for tourniquet. The pronunciation is atrocious, but we have solved the problem. We've bandaged things up, and all is well. There is no megas. It's only a pretty rough game state, but it could be a lot worse. I mean, the game could be over right now. It's still minute 50, and the game is well and alive currently. Whew. And despite it being a 50-minute game, I mean, we still have plenty of more items to buy. Still plenty more for basically everybody in the game to purchase. I mean, our most farmed hero is Slark, but Slark can still upgrade to Bloodthorn, can replace Treads with another item, or even put Gem on a teammate, though. This game, Jim really wants to carry this Gem, and it makes sense. There's a lot of invis this game. I mean, Drow Ranger goes invis. Is it just Drow Ranger? There's a Trickster's Cloak as well on Kubrick, so... He's, again, in a lot of these fights, you're seeing Slark, especially go on Drow Ranger. By the way, he has a Rapier. Drow's a Rapier, by the way. If we're keeping track of items on Drow. Drow's a Rapier. But... We're at the point now where if you're Slark, you really want to be on this Drow constantly. Lock down this hero, ruin her game, do not let her get away, use the multi-shot, delay these engagements. No, it is stick on Drow Ranger as the highest priority.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Again, we return to the siege bottom. Andy Bendy defends the top wave with an X-Mark TP play. Salacious Sea Lion 62 is the primary building sieger.
No wonder you're on the other team.
The tower remains low, but it remains alive. Ooh, wait a minute. Ooh, thought for a second Jim might get punished. The sentry was set up, ready for a shenanigans play to finish the range Rack's middle lane. The Swede was there, and upon seeing Melina, Jim says, you know what? The range Racks, they're not worth it. They're just not worth it. That is a lot of Tiebringer damage. Still the tragic tale for Crystal Maiden is just this Kunkka doing damage. I mean, you know we're at a relatively tense game state when the teams more or less refuse to interact. Because when you interact, you... Oh, Fissure! The Chain Stun, the Thecko Slam! And that's why you refuse to interact. Because when you interact with your opponent, you'll risk making them a mistake and you risk dying. The gem has been transferred from Jim to Kubrick. Slark is dead for 85 seconds. Wait, let's see Andy Bendy, Andy Bendy. Ooh, X-Mark gets away. Oh. Ballsy play from Andy Bendy, but he knows there's no Yule Scepter. Ooh, the illusion. They find the illusion. Sauce. Ooh, they saw him TPing with the Glimmer Cape, but the stuns were not fast enough. Roar was on cooldown. Dive Bomb was not in time. Fourth Roshan could be alive, by the way, but much like many of the other Roshans today, Roshan is... I don't know, what's our excuse this time? Roshan slept in. He overslept his alarm. He'll be here eventually, though. About 2 minutes into that 3-minute respawn window, so... at that point, Slark will be alive, though Bouche will have map control in this dire jungle area. They can generally play this high ground until Roshan is an option, then it's walk on in and hope the dire don't just go, I don't know, say around here or up through here, cause an issue in this Roshan pit area here. Because again, Radiant generally have a better Roshan pit team fight, but it's always easier to be outside the pit than inside the pit. 4-man smoke gank, everyone but Slark on the inside. Slark has a ninja gear to join the smoke gank as well, so he'll be fine. Kubrick has been spotted. Blink avalanche toss, but Aurora's there on Tiny. Hex on Hobbs. Exo from Tint. In come the entirety of Sauce's Kittens. Immediately found the right opening, finally! Freezing throw from Blackfrath, now cancelled. Torrent up in the air, but Drow Ranger, look over the blade! Echo Slam! Everybody's dying! 2 for 1 so far. Blackfrath is bought back. The Rapier Drow is hitting Tint, but Tint remains alive. 1 more hit will do it, but Tint is still alive. He's still being healed. And now Slark buys back into the game, recognize that this is the fight to win, but Snacktrix is dead. So we're now back to a 4v4. Both heroes dead. Can use a buyback. Andy Bendy scouts it out. Goes to Roshan. Notices there's nobody in the Roshan. X marks back out. Drow shows, pounce in, BKB, Abyssal Blade, everyone buys back, Shaker, Tiny, return, Slark pursues Drow, Drow is on the run, Slark is hunting, silence, LSA, look at the blade, Slark is live back, but Drow is dead, Rapier on the floor, Gunka wants the Rapier, who gets it, it's still there, Dire, see the Rapier, Lena grabs it, Hex is there on Lena, Bo comes in, does not stun, Blackfrat takes the damage, Fisher comes in, hitting on 2, the damage, Andy Bendy, he gets grazed by Sauce, Radiant again, pursue, Andy Bendy is in a lot of danger, and the Kunkka is dead! Dazzle is now the man on the run. Fissure, the E-Blade, the Dragon Slave, a multi-shot, a double kill for Lena! And just like that, 3 are dead on Sauce's Kittens, and Slark has no buyback. Therefore, Roshan is going to head the way of Bouche. Meanwhile, Swig goes for a soul kill on Tint. In comes Kubrick, another Echo Slam! And just like that, a kill on Tint. He does have buyback, but now Roshan has been grabbed. The Rapier has been returned to Yes Sir. He got an Aghanim Scepter as well, so he gets a lot from the Roshan. He gets the Aegis, the cheese, and the Aghanim Scepter. His treads are on the floor, and it's now final high ground defense time. They need to somehow defend for 53 seconds. And I have no idea how. This building push is incredibly fast. I mean, yes, there was a Rapier in the Inner Beast aura. And he wants to go for the throne. They were seeing pings in the throne. They temporarily stopped the siege to go for the Rex. But now we are back to tier 4s. 1 tier 4. The Western one. Okay, there's your glyph. Ooh, Andy Bendy. Thought about going on in with a Tidebringer crit, but could not find the right angle. Torrents will hit Drow Ranger. Slark is alive in 10. Yes, sir. Hits the other tier 4. In comes Andy Bendy with the expert for Hobbs. Has Aurora on Kunkka. Tiny has a tree volley. Tint blinks in. He'll BKB. He'll Exo. He wants Sui. Lena BKBs. Tiny BKBs. Sui is low. Jim returns to the fight. Tint. He has an Exo active, but Hobbs and Crystal Maiden are going to die on the north side of the fight. It's already 2 deaths on the Radiant side. Kubrick, yes sir, and Sui are on the retreat. Abyssal on Drow. Drow has 2 lives, but she might just die twice. E-Blade on Slark, the Dagon, but no Luna, she's silenced on Lena, and now Drow is hexed, BKB is on cooldown, Lena is dead, Drow is dead, that's a dieback on Drow, Rapier goes to Salacious Sea Lion 62, and just like that again the game goes back and forth, this time back to Sauce's Kittens. And before we were asking, how do Dire defend? They have no Slark. But now it's the same question for Radiant. How do they defend without a Drow Ranger for 100 seconds? Hobbs is brought back, but it's a 3v5 defense. Fissure on 2 from Kubrick, but the Avalanche on 3. No toss. Roar on Smack Tricks, but Jim focuses the buildings. Laguna, but the Grave from Sauce! The long range, perfectly timed Grave! Fissure again on 2, into the dive bomb, Echo Slam, damaging 4, stunning on 3, Spectrix is dead, now a 3v3, in comes Sweet, digging down Sauce, but in comes Jim, he's hitting the throne, FAP, Depth Shroud, LSA, it's on 1, Dire, focus the throne, and Sauce's Kittens will take the series 2-0, killing the throne in a 60-minute epic. Now that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is Dota 2. If you are a fan of lines on a plane, this is your graph right here. My God. Utterly and completely absurd game. That was something else. I mean, game 1 was an alright game, but it's game 2 that was a truly fantastic game here. This is a really tight game. Well, I mean, it's one of those things you look back and you ask yourself, man, what are the things we could have done differently? And both teams made a lot of mistakes in that late game situation. But it's Sauce's Kittens who end up on top in the end. I mean, we saw the Rapier change hands a number of times, but it's the transfer from Drow to Slark that was the big one. Actually, went from Drow to an allied Lena, back to Drow, and then to, yeah, Slark was the last holder, of course, of the Rapier. If you wonder, here's also another Rapier. We have another Rapier here. When did that other Rapier get purchased, actually? How did I not notice that? Okay, to be fair, it was a minute 59:30 Rapier. The game was over at that point. He bought it to Siege Throne faster. I don't know how to know. I just not a Rapier. I didn't even notice the other Rapier. Oh, that's Dota 2 for you. That is going to be it for me tonight, though. Thank you for tuning on in for this 2-0 victory of Sauce's Kittens over Bouche. You want me to cast your games, cast your tournaments. If you want to hire me and Logical or me and a co-caster of your choosing for your DPC or other professional events, contact me on Twitter, twitter.com/BadgerDota2. It is in my Twitch's description, or contact me on Discord, badger5713. Yeah. Check out my YouTube, I guess. Other than that, yeah. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great night.